Here I'm at my friend's house, and he's got his TV on. He's on my channel, and
on YouTube.
On YouTube, and go back to where you were, Ron. Go back. If you go up to the top once you're on my channel and you type in Schatz, clocks, and go ahead and hit.
That's what I did.
And then you'll see I've got 10 videos of repairing Schatz clocks.
8-day cuckoo clock.
Now, some of them are just quick, short videos because this was back before I could make a long video. And so, anyway, you can watch videos on your TV, on my channel, or anybody's channel, and you just have to be signed into their channel before you do a search button.
And here's a Schatz 8-day cuckoo.
And here we have a Schatz that wasn't working properly, so I told him to take the movement out. And this lever right here, was actually underneath this lever right here was actually underneath this lever, and I'm going to put it back underneath that lever so you can see. When you activate the cuckoo, it will cuckoo, but it's not working properly. And the reason I say it's not working properly is this lever right here drops into this lever right here drops into the slot on this wheel. And that's just how Schatz is designed. And I'm going to put it back where it belongs. On this lever has to be on top of this metal piece. And so I'm going to put it back where it belongs. Try to put it back where it belongs. And so, as it cuckoos, this is the bird. This wire right here catches the door. This right here is what the bird sits on. So every time it cuckoos, and it's touching the governor fan. Every time it cuckoos, that arm, that L-shaped, backwards L-shaped arm, goes into that cam, and the bird comes back in the door, and then when it gets on top of that cam again, the bird goes out the door. So it's by design, every time it cuckoos, the bird goes in and out of the door. And so, this is the gong, of course, and then I'm going to show you which is the high note lever. The high note lever is the one that is in the middle, and then this right here is the low note lever. So, because you'll see the gong, then the high note lever play, and then the low note lever play. And he put this thing in his ultrasonic cleaner, and this movement, the Schatz only made AJ movements. And you can tell it's a Schatz by the silhouette of the bird that's in the back plate. And this movement was made in 1957. 857. You should be able to see that on there. So a lot of people don't like the Schatz cuckoo clocks because the bird bounces in and out of the door as it cuckoos. But for the most part, you can find these Schatz cuckoo clocks for fairly cheap. And I love the Schatz cuckoo clocks. They're a unique design. Now the door is supposed to stay open when the bird is cuckooing, and so and I'd have to watch my video to see what's going on. Like I said, the door is supposed to stay open as it cuckooing. And why it stays open is because this lever right here rides on this lever right here. And so if your door is not staying open, you might have to adjust this lever so it stays riding on this lever. And if you pay attention, this doesn't fall as the cuckoo bird falls. And that's keeping the door open. And in this case, I got it bent too much, so I need to keep on playing with this. So this rides on top of there when it cuckoos, but it doesn't come off of there until after it's done cuckooing. As you can see, I got it bent too much, so I need to bend it just slightly. And again, it's not dropping. I got it bent too much. So I'm going to try it again. And so now it's the door staying open. There's also a screw adjustment that you can rotate this thing back and forth, but it wasn't off that much, and that's why I bent it. It's almost done cuckooing, and this drops off of this wedge, which brings the door closed. So this movement is ready to go back into the case. A lot of people ask, why does the door close when the cuckoo bird is coming in and out? And that's because this lever here is not staying on top of this wedge. I'm going to show it to you one more time. It cuckoos, this lever comes on top of this wedge, and again, this lever is for the door. When I move it up and down, you'll see the wire go back and forth. Okay, and so as it cuckoos, this backwards L is going to fall into that cam slot, which causes the bird to come in and out. It's fixing the ball into that slot. There it fell and it came back out. Let me show it to you again. There it went into the slot. It comes back out. But the door is staying open again because this lever here is on this wedge. And so a lot of people, like I said, ask why does their door come in and out or open and close as the bird is cuckooing, and that's because this lever is not staying on top of this wedge. Again, there's a screw right here that you can adjust, or you could do like I did and carefully bend this lever just a little bit. Now remember, if you bend it too much, you're going to break this metal, and then you're going to have problems. Bird's bouncing in and out, and it's fixing to done cuckoo, and the door is going to close. I hope this video helps. Leave me some comments, and may God bless each and every one of you. One last thing about the Schatz movement. Some of them come with triangular bellow tops, and some don't. This one's got the triangular bellow tops. My buddy redid them. When you redo your bellow tops, you want to make sure that they're all the way open, and then you want to fold the ends in and then close the bellow and put a clamp on it for several minutes, and that will give the memory in the Tyvek paper. The door wasn't closing on the Schatz clock, so I drilled out a hole for the bird to go into on this block of wood, and I'm testing it to see what's going on with it. The case was put in a bind, and when this thing is done cuckooing, the bird does come back, and this tab right here determines how far the bird comes back. However, if I could get the bird out of the hole, this piece right here, let me get my pointer. This piece right here is what is part of what allows how far the bird comes back. However, you see this will touch the case. So if you want the bird to go back further, you're going to have to bend this in so it doesn't touch the case when it comes back in order for this tab here to go down further. But currently it's working fine. But when this door lever gets too far, the counterweight can't drop it. So he might had the wire too long on the door, I'm not for sure. See, when it gets too far, the counterweight can't drop it. So what I'm gonna do is bend this counterweight down some. You know, science will tell you center of gravity and all this crap. Well, I'm not a science person. I just know what it takes to fix stuff. So now when it goes all the way out, it now drops because the weight is lower than the center of gravity that it was at, the counterweight. Except for if it touches the bird too much. If it gets stuck on the bird, then it won't drop because it's catching the bird. So I'm going to bend this lever to the left a little bit. So it doesn't get stuck on the bird. Now it's time to do a function test. Let's see if I can put the bird back in that hole to do that function test. I don't have my hole big enough, so I'll have to do the function test right here. And as I told you before, this lever here has to hit this wedge in order for the door to stay open. And so I'm going to have to bend that a little bit more toward that wedge and do another function test. Door staying open. I bent it too much, so bend it away from that wedge just a tiny bit to allow the door to come back. Doing another function test. It's away from the wedge too much. In this case, I'm going to loosen the screw and adjust that wedge.